One of the great signs as to how your campaign is doing is to look at how stupid, pathetic, or feckless your attacks on your opponent have become. I'll give you some examples. When we criticize the Trump campaign, we say, this guy doesn't respect democracy. Here's 100 instances of proof. This guy doesn't respect the Constitution. Here's a dozen things he said that confirm that. This guy doesn't respect women's bodily autonomy. Here's 30 instances of him bragging about getting Roe v. Wade overturned thanks to the 3 Supreme Court justices he picked. This guy doesn't respect press freedom. Here's 30 instances of him either attacking members of the media or threatening to shut down media outlets he doesn't like. These are very serious criticisms of Donald Trump. On the other hand, you start with the criticisms of Kamala Harris. She's a DEI candidate, meaning she's only there based on presumably the color of her skin or her gender in a sort of affirmative action kind of sense. She laughs in a way that's silly. She's the failed border czar, even though she was never the border czar. That shows us they don't really have anything good against her. And this is now applying to Tim Walz. During Kamala Harris's DNC nomination acceptance speech last week, Donald Trump put out a truth saying they called Tim Walz coach, but he was only an assistant coach. Very flaccid and shriveled attack. And the latest one is that Tim Walz lied about his dog. He brought in a fake dog to claim that it is his dog. I know it sounds stupid, but this is what they're doing. Here is an article from Gizmodo. Trump weirdos spread conspiracy theory that Tim Walz's dog is fake. If you're looking, you'll see that on the left, there's a picture of Tim Walz with his dog. And then on the right, there's a picture of Tim Walz with a different dog. Oh my goodness. What? What they are talking about is that in a post about going to the dog park, Tim Walz talked about how great it was to go with Scout. But in one of the pictures, which you can see on the right here, let's see if I can pull this up. One of the pictures which you can see on the right, Tim Walz is with, God forbid, a different dog. Well, the explanation is extraordinarily simple, which is that there's a video of this event. Here's a screenshot from the video. Tim Walz was there with his dog Scout, but a random dog came by and Tim Walz pet the dog and apparently liked the dog. And then we also have a video of the event in question.
Are they bugging you?
It's nice to be the center of attention.
Yeah. Well, I can
So here is Tim Walz petting a dog that is not his.
see why.
Anybody having too much fun can't have it.
I can see why with that face. You should be the center of attention. Yeah. Go give him some hack. Oh, yeah. Oh.
And then in comes Scout into the video. Tim Walz is not pretending that this other dog is his dog. Now, if you're saying to me, okay, David, I get it. It's just another stupid conspiracy theory. There's a really interesting element to this. As usual, the stories they fail to use to attack their opposition tell us so much more about themselves. And I know many of you know where I'm going with this. Trump has made it clear he doesn't understand dogs. He doesn't know what it would be like to have a relationship with a dog. He doesn't get along with dogs. Trump doesn't know what makes dogs appealing. He often references things that are bad to being like dogs. They treated him like a dog. That whole thing. The fact that MAGA is now going after Tim Walz, essentially for petting a different dog than his own, is a reminder that as bad as Donald Trump is with kids and with babies, he is just as bad with dogs. And while it doesn't rank highly for me, you know, the threat to democracy ranks much higher for me. I hear from dog owners regularly who say the fact that Trump and dogs just seem to clash ideologically concerns me, because everyone I know who genuinely just like is repulsed by dogs, I don't know about that. There's some, you know, who doesn't like dogs in some general sense. So it's a complete and total backfire, both because it's so stupid. It's stupid because it also reminds us that their criticisms of Harris and Walz are meaningless compared to the very serious concerns with Trump and Pence. And of course, it's also a reminder that Trump has seemed adversarial to dogs for a very long time. Are you aware that there are hundreds of commercial databases and people search sites holding your personal information, and the number just keeps growing? Anyone, your boss, your ex, can use these sites to look at your online activity, home addresses, phone numbers, emails, license plate, family members, financial details, even political beliefs. In Europe, they have laws protecting against this, but it's still a free-for-all in the United States. Even the FBI will sometimes purchase data from companies like these to obtain private information about Americans without even getting a search warrant. Now, our sponsor, Incogni, offers a solution. Signing up takes just seconds. Incogni sends takedown notices to major data brokers, compelling them to remove your information as they are legally required to do. Incogni keeps you updated every step of the way with live information about which companies have complied, which are in progress. Incogni even will follow up and appeal on your behalf, saving you hundreds of hours of work. Very much worth it. This can also cut down on how many spam phone calls and emails you get, since scammers and solicitors are getting your info from the very same lists. Go to incogni.com/Pacman and you'll get 60% off with code Pacman. The link is down below.